Nick's kid started drawing with a pencil when he was just 4, but it wasn't until almost 30 years later that Italian artist Troilo chanced upon the technique that would eventually define his artistic style.
Attempting to paint one day, he realized he was missing his brushes, so he dipped his fingers into jars of acrylic and painted away, and he hasn't looked back ever since.
That accidental discovery led to art like this. Take a look. Images rendered in black and white, the only two colors he uses. And an interesting point, he only paints pictures of himself.
Well, the artist joins us this morning. Welcome, Troilo. Great to have you on the show.
Good morning to you,
Yeah, before we start, I have to say, can we take a look at your hands? Because...
Yes. These are my hands. This is my right hand. This is basically my tool. And I'm not able to have it clean, so...
Well, I was going to say, they're not too grubby at all, considering you're handling paint.
Yeah, I'm trying to use also very natural color because, you know, it's not so good to put something on your hands every day, because every day I try to create something.
Right.
Also, if it's not the one that comes out from my studio.
So when you introduced, you were saying that it was an accidental discovery. You were missing your brushes, so therefore you decided to dabble with your fingers. What was that? Do you remember that first encounter with paint, you know, finger painting? What was that?
Definitely, yes. You know, it's so strange because it's hard for someone to remember the exact moment. But to me, because of the accident, I know for sure, and I remember exactly the right moment. I was back home and I went to buy all the tools because I was going from the drawing to the painting. And forgetting brushes, I decided to start to paint anyway because it was too strong, the need to do that. And so it was kind of experiment. Once I saw that it was possible, it was a revelation. And life is so, say something to you when you don't expect it.
Right.
Was it a technique that was difficult to develop, or did it come quite naturally?
Okay, starting from a very good drawing base, because it was around 30 years of drawing, I was okay with the painting, but at the same time it was new in any case. So I developed it in the years after. At the beginning it was very like impressionist painting, very spotty and blah blah blah, and then it became very hyper-realistic paint that is. Somebody says that is unique at the world in the moment. I
mean, it is unique. I mean, seeing you just splatter paint like that, and then at the end of the day, it becomes a beautiful image, by the way.
Thank you.
But I want to know that sensorial experience you go through when you actually touch paint and then you start because it's right at the end of your fingertips versus brushes, right?
Exactly.
And you're using your fingers to actually create an image. What does that feel like?
It's a whole circle. It's a perfect circle. It starts in the mind with an idea and a thought, and go through the body, ends with a finger, and never ends because there's no room, no space between you and the canvas. So the experience of painting body with the body is a complete experience. I think that also brushes are good. I mean, the history of painting is full of, I mean, a big maestro of brushes painting. But to me personally, it's like to kiss my wife with another man's lips using brushes, you know?
I was particularly impressed because you were saying a moment ago that you only spend one day on each of your paintings, and they're really quite big, some of them, aren't the pieces?
Yeah, but I can't do it differently. I need to fix an emotion. And I think that when you fall in love, there is a particular day when you fall in love that is the perfect day. Then you can grow your love, or you can go down with your love, but it's anyway different. So I want to fix that emotion. And to fix an emotion, I need one day or one session. I need one session.
So that is continuous. You don't break that flow or emotion that you are in at the very moment, right?
It's a continual flow. But I'm not following the flow. like the Americans say, go with the flow.
Right.
I create the flow.
Ah.
Okay? Because you follow the flow when the flow is a media. I'm not the media, I'm a source.
Well, talking about the source of inspiration a lot of times is yourself, because you only paint images of yourself. Why is that?
Why? Because simply at the beginning the critics was writing that I was representing myself as a self-portrait, but without I was explaining them, they realized that it wasn't so, it is not so. Using always the same subject means erase the subject. You pay attention to what's going on and not who is in the canvas. So at the same time I put myself, but I take out myself from the canvas. And it's a symbol. It's like to use always the same in a different position to tell something that is not the name of the man. Okay.
By doing finger painting, do you feel like you know, there's another side of you being, you know, emerging from who you are? Because we should mention that you were in advertising for about 12 years before you actually went into this.
Yes.
And then you got hooked, and now you're full-time doing this.
Yes.
Does it set you free? In what manner?
This sets me free because, you know, doing advertising, there's an American comedian, unfortunately he's not alive yet, it's Bill Hicks. In one of his shows in London, he asked to the crowd, is there someone that works in advertising? And a lot of people in London, of course, said yes. And he said, you know, you're working for the devil. It's not so true. He's a comedian, so he pushed the things at the maximum level. But at the same time, working for advertising means for a creative guy to sell the soul to the market, to the marketing director, to the marketing research, to the buyers, and I experienced in that, and I set me free just now, starting to paint, because now I decide what to bring to people, and also the fear that the people don't want this is strong to me, because push me to do more and more to understand also me if I'm right. So it's
sort of a self-discovery, I suppose, in a sense, for you as well.
Sorry?
It's sort of a self-discovery journey for you as well.
Absolutely,
as you immerse yourself in your own work.
Fortunately, because sometimes you stop your inside research because you are too busy to pay attention to the other people. And you lost the contact, the link with yourself.
So a lot of the themes of your painting are a little bit about breaking free, and I noticed that in the video that we saw earlier on that you flick paint towards the end of the composition, and is that to sort of give that sort of feeling of breaking free? Yes.
Because to do figurative painting is a very calculated mathematical matter. I mean, it's, you do that in a you have to own the technique and you work on it. The dripping is the entropy. It's the moment in which the order meets disorder, and that's the moment in which you feel free, because you lay yourself, you give yourself in the end of unpredictable.
Actually, that looks pretty fun. I must say, it looks liberating. I mean, just looking at it itself. You have one particular piece that we actually have a clip of. It's called The Elephant. Do you recall that piece? Why did you name it so?
Elephant is, you know, the elephant is the animal with the most developed memory. You know, he has the power to remember everything. And this big punch in front of this man seems to have the skin of an elephant. And not only that, he is the expression of a memory that comes back to you like a punch. Sometimes something in the past comes back to you because you see something that is related.
I see.
Strong, sorry, like a punch. this is the exact moment in which your elephant memory come back to you.
Oh.
Now, we've got another video of another painting of yours. This one's called Origami of New Year's Day. What's the story behind this, or the message behind this piece?
Oh, yeah, Origami of the New Year's Day is actually the translation of my painting in the place of Singapore. This is one of the pieces that I created just for the show, the Humans Among Aliens show. And regarding the fact that I used to express the body and this dripping and in this explosion, looking and thinking about Singapore and these climbing shapes that go to the sky to reach, I don't know what, but anyway, to reach something, to grow. In a small place, you try to find something
striving higher and
higher. This crystallized city was expression of this explosion. Origami is also a tribute of to a technique and that belongs to the Asia.
Yeah.
And of New Year's Day, because as the skyscrapers here in Singapore, they are shooted in the sky.
Right.
The painting certainly looks like a piece of origami, I think. With the
yeah, exactly,
yes,
exactly.
It does. Yeah, sorry to New Heights. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, Troilo. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you very much.
Italian artist Troilo there, painting with fingers only. A technique he accidentally discovered, as we mentioned, when he realized he had no brushes to paint with, but you know, since then he's not looked back.
Yeah, well, his work is on display from now until the 17th of November. Exhibition details are on your screen right now, so check them out if you want to go and see his paintings.